What's up, guys? It's JL Folks from Road Angler TV. Today I'm doing a pretty cool video. I'm doing a review of the Seaghost 110 versus the Yellowfin 120. Gonna run through all the features, go up and down the boat, and show you the difference between the two. Stay tuned. Alright, starting at the front of the boats, also known as the bow. First thing we notice on the Seaghost 110 is it's a little more round, making it easier to bounce off rocks. It's a little more stable in the front. And the Yellowfin 120, it's a little more slick looking, more shaped like a knife to be able to cut through current and just maneuver a little better. Here we have the valve to release water on the front of the boat, and the Seaghost does not have that on the front of the boat. They both have a handle on the front. This one's shaped horizontally and this one's shaped more vertical. They both have an area to store your paddle right here. On the Seaghost 110, it's just a bungee cord, and on the Yellowfin 120, it's like a flap. The Seaghost 110 has a watertight storage area, which you could hold a lot of stuff in here. On the Yellowfin 120, you have this storage area, which it's not a watertight seal, but you can still store a lot of stuff under this, and you can also take this off. And the Yellowfin 120's got gear tracks on the front, which the Seaghost does not. One thing that's cool on the Seaghost is this compartment here. You can pull out the bag and actually store stuff inside the kayak, which makes it really great for a camping trip. You can store sleeping bags, food, water bottles, ice, anything you want in there. And it's also good to be able to transport stuff. I've actually packed about 5 rods inside this kayak and traveled from Tennessee all the way to South Florida. Now on the Yellowfin 120, it's harder to do that. You cannot access the inside of the kayak on the front. The only place you can access it is this one storage area right here. And as you can see, it's much smaller and it would be very difficult to stuff a rod in there. I wouldn't recommend it. Both kayaks have an area to store your paddle, both supported by a bungee. It's the Yellowfin and the Seaghost right here. And they both have these vibe handles on the side, these sturdy vibe handles. I say in a lot of my videos, I love these things. They're both in the same spot of the kayak. Both kayaks come with gear tracks on the side. And another big thing you're going to notice between the Seaghost and the Yellowfin is the Seaghost has this Versa console, which you can store a lot of stuff in here. It's also got these little compartments here you can put stuff in. And this is also magnetic. You can put your lures there as well. It's also got these gear tracks even on the console as well, which work good for a fish finder. The Seaghost has an area where you can mount a transducer under the boat. You just flip over the boat and it's got 4 screws, and you run the wire up through here and onto the fish finder. The Seaghost comes with a rudder. As you can see, these are pedals that control the steering of the rudder. Now we come over here to the Yellowfin, and it doesn't have that Versa console, so there's not as much storage area, but you have more room in the boat to maneuver. You got a good cup holder here, and this storage area is actually watertight. It's smaller, but still a good storage area. And these pedals here are not made for a rudder. I guess if you're going to put a rudder on it, you could order those from Vibe. Probably the same way you steer the Seaghost 110. You can install a rudder on the Yellowfin 120. I personally am not, but you can see those little holes are where you run the cables for it. Both kayaks come with a Hero seat, which I highly recommend. They're really great. The Yellowfin 120 has a high position only on the seat, and the Seaghost 110 has a low position and a high position. So right now I have it in the low position, but you can move it up to here and put it in the high position. Looking at the back of the boat, also known as the stern, there are some differences between the two. The Yellowfin does have a deeper section here where you can store stuff. It's a little bit bigger than the Seaghost area. Now the Seaghost does have another storage area right here. And the Yellowfin 120 does not. They both come with gear tracks on the back. This one's a little easier to access because these things holding the bungee here are not attached to it. On the Seaghost, they're actually attached, but you could still mount stuff on these gear tracks as well. Both have 2 rod holders on the back. Both have handles in pretty much the same position. As you can see, I have my rudder installed on my Seaghost 110. I do not have it installed on my Yellowfin 120, but as you can see, you can install a rudder here. On the back of the Seaghost, we do have the valve that you can let out water, and the Yellowfin does not have that. It's actually located on the front of the kayak. Right here we have the rope that releases the rudder. You pull on that, and the rudder comes down. To release it, you just pull it on again. It locks in place right here. Alright guys, that is the Yellowfin 120 versus Seaghost 110. As you can see, they both have their differences and both serve different purposes. I personally like the Yellowfin 120 for rivers. It's a really good river boat. It can cut easier in the water, it's faster, and the Seaghost 110 is a lot easier for stuff like camping trips and lakes. You could pack more stuff in the kayak, it's more stable. You could stand up on this kayak easier than the Yellowfin 120. So they're both totally different boats. This one's a little slower, this one's faster, this one's more stable, and this one's less stable, but able to cut through stuff easier. You're able to turn and really dig in on the Yellowfin 120 compared to the Seaghost. So they're both really great kayaks. It all depends what you want. So I definitely recommend Vibe Kayaks. There's even more kayaks you could choose from, but if you're interested in a Yellowfin 120 or a Seaghost 110, visit vibekayaks.com or visit the links in the description of this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Just give me that cold mountain stream where I can float drive-bys on the water and drink a beer. Just give me that fresh mountain air and some memories that we'll all have again. But I haven't had much of a getaway in quite some time, and I know it's long been overdue. It might be January and a little bit chilly outside,